Okay, this lesson is over nets and rectangular prisms, and we're going to introduce surface area. Okay, if you go to the first link on your slide 1, I just wanted you to first kind of play around with this. Notice if I take that animation, I can take what's called a net. Okay, this down here is like the wrapping paper. It's called a net. I can take that wrapping paper and form a rectangular prism, which is a box. Okay, a rectangular prism is basically a box. If you take that pattern, scroll the pattern circle, you can get different nets that would form a box. So I just wanted you to play around with that to see all the different types of nets that would cover up a rectangular prism. Okay, spend some time with that. Okay, the next link is I want to show you a specific way to do a net. Okay, this is showing a rectangular prism. Okay, I would take the filling bar and move it all the way to the right. That just makes more sense to me. But if I have any rectangular prism, okay, you're going to have a length and a width and a height listed here. So you can play around with that. But if you click Create Net, it shows one particular way to stretch this out to be a net. And this is the way I'm going to kind of focus on when we do it for iLearn, is try to make the net look more like this. Okay, and let me show you, try to explain something. Okay, notice this is the bottom. Okay, this is the bottom base, but I want you to see that the height, see how this height, and at least the way I have it set up, is 5. See, it's 5 high. But I want you to see when we start doing the net, we can do the base. Okay, we can draw the base, which is right there. And then notice 4 of the other rectangles, they go out 5, out, 5, out, 5, out, 5. So that height tells you how far out 4 rectangles go out from the base. And then notice, and play around with this. We're going to spend more time with this in class. But then notice that you have the base, and you have a copy of that base attached over here. I mean, this is one way to do a prism, and this is the way I think it's probably most straightforward to do for iLearn, in case they have you ask you to do this. Okay, so we have the base. Okay, then we know that the height was 5, so we went out 5, out 5, out 5, out 5. And then we just stuck another base on the top. Okay, let's look at a problem with the grid. Okay, if I wanted you to create this rectangular prism's net, okay, I would first look at this rectangle on the bottom. This is the base. This is the 3 by 4. It's a 3 by 4. I would first create that base with one of these squares, so you can change the shape of these. Just try to do a 3 by 4. Stretch this out so it's 3 by 4. I'm just going to put it there. Okay, there's 3 one way. 2, 3, and this is 4 the other. And it's okay if it's not perfectly the same as that, but it's as long as it's 3 by 4. So the base is the bottom, it's 3 by 4. And then see the height is 2. So that means all 4 rectangles that attach go out 2. And I didn't know the sizes were about the right size as they are. It just kind of worked out that way. So I'm going to go out 2 right here on the right. Okay, I'm going to go out to up here. See how this is 2? And this is 2. Okay, I'm going to go up, out 2 again down here. See, 2 out away from the base. And then one more time. Out 2 away from the left side. Okay, so I drew the 3x4 base right here, and then I went out 2, out 2, out 2, out 2. Okay, now all I have to do is copy another base. Okay, well, it's just the top. It's just like the bottom. I'm going to copy this right above here, and notice I went off the screen a little bit. I will be going off the screen, but that's no big deal. We'll just be sure to know that there's another layer of squares there on the top. Okay, so that is the rectangular prism. Let me go out a little bit more. Okay, so just imagine 4 more squares right there, okay? Okay, so if I want to find the surface area, okay, the surface area of this rectangular prism. Okay, surface area is the area inside the net. Okay, all I really could do, since it's on grid paper, is I could just count the squares inside each rectangle. Okay, this has 12 squares inside. And the bottom has 12 squares inside. Okay, if you look at I'm considering this the back and the front. Both of those have 8 square units inside. And then I'm considering this the right side and the left side. Each of those have 6 squares inside. So if I want to find the total surface area, I would add all of those sides up. Okay, I'm sorry, all of those areas up. So I'm just going to type it in as 12 plus 12 plus 8 plus 8. We'll look at the formulas and stuff later. Plus 6 plus 6. And if I add those up, that will give me the total surface area. Let's see, that's 52 square units. Okay, try slide 3. Try slide 3 on your own. The formula, the solution will follow. Okay, I will have the solution for you. But try that on your own. I don't want to make this video too long. Okay, for problem 4, or I should say slide 4, I wanted to do this without grid paper. So what I did, I figured out where the base was. It's there on the bottom. And it's a 12 by 2 base. So I just tried to draw what looks about like a 12 by 2 right there. And then I see the height 7. So I tried to go out 7, out 7, out 7, out 7. Of course, we're just approximating. And then I put another, the top is just like the bottom base, a 12 by 2. I put another one on top. Okay, and to make this a little bit easier, maybe you could drag the lengths, at least some of them. You know that these are all 12. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to keep it outside the shape. I'm going to have you try to keep them outside the shape as best you can, because you can't type inside in the text boxes if you put them inside, at least very well. So this is 12, this is 12, this is 12, this is 12, this is 12. So I don't really have to label them all. Okay, I'm going to label 7. Okay, go 7 out. Okay, I'm just going to label with 1. But do you see that if this is 7, that means this is 7. That means this is 7. This is 7. This is 7, and this is 7. And these are 7. Okay, I gave you extras if you want to label them all so you can see it better. Okay, and I'm going to label this distance here as 2. And I'll put it down here. Okay, but if this is 2, that means this is 2, this is 2, this is 2, and this is 2. So label them all if you want to. Okay, label them all. That's why I gave you extras if you want to. Okay, now to find the surface area without the grid, we just need to think about area of a rectangle. Okay, area of a rectangle is length times width. So I can just figure out the area using length times width. Okay, this right here is a 12 by 2. So I'm just going to type in 12 times 2 equals 24. This is going to be exactly the same. The top and the bottom are exactly the same. Okay, I'm going to consider this the back. Okay, this is a 7 by 12. This is a 7 by 12. 12 times 7 is equal to 84. And that's going to be exactly the same as the front. Okay, we're getting all the areas. We got the front and the back as 12 times 7. We have the bottom and the top is 12 times 2. Okay, now we need the right side and the left side. Okay, now this is a 2, and this is a 7. So it's going to be 2 times 7. And it's the same on the left side too. And I didn't really go over that, but the top and the bottom are exactly the same always. The front and the back are exactly the same, and the left and the right are exactly the same. Okay, so to find the surface area, I'm going to add all these areas up. I have 24 squares and 24 squares on the bottom and the top. I have 84 squares inside the back and the front. And I have 14 squares on the left and the right. Okay, so if I add all those up, $244 square feet. Okay, I'm counting squares. Okay, a couple things. Just remember, you could have labeled every single part of this shape with all of those extra pieces up there. Just be careful not to get inside inside these individual purple squares because you may not be able to type. Okay, try the next one by yourself. And again, I'll have the solution to this slide at the end, and the second one with the grid. I'll have a solution to that one at the end so you can check. See, I can keep this video shorter. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.